Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Talk Leadership with Cedric. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I'm Cedric 𝗟𝗡𝗍𝗶𝗿, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight. You know, it is cold out there, so you see I'm all wrapped up in all of my gear, and I'm gonna say, you know, we have branded gear, so you notice the brand. Notice the brand. I teach that all the time. Branded, folks. So tonight, I'm excited about our show. Talk Leadership with Cedric. Let me take off all of this gear now. Talk Leadership with Cedric focuses on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. And our guiding leadership quote for tonight is, "You are the designer of your destiny. You are the author. You write the story. The pen is in your hand. The outcome is whatever you choose." And that's a quote from Lisa Nichols. I absolutely love that quote. Hey, guys, tonight I have a special guest with me, and I'm going to do an introduction here in just a little bit, but I want you to understand that tonight's show, you're gonna be impressed by this young lady that we have here to talk with us tonight. And as you know, the show is always interactive and engaging. If you have any comments, put them. Any messages, put them in the comments. I'll pop them up on the screen. If you have a question, put it out there. I'll pop it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. We're just going to sit back and have a little fun talking with our special guest. So let me talk a little bit about our special guest. You know, our special guest tonight exemplifies the quote that I just read, and she's very talented and very vibrant young lady, and who I've had the pleasure of mentoring for some time now. I can remember the first time she contacted me. I listened to her speak, and then I went on and watched some of her video clips, and wow, was I impressed by our guest tonight. Now, I knew that I was going to connect with her in some kind of way down the road. She didn't realize that, but I knew that listening to her message and what she wants to get out tonight. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Tatiana Woulard. Now, Tatiana is widely recognized as the mental architect. Now, check that out. Now, isn't that just awesome? The mental architect, right? And she's a visionary speaker, mindset coach, and a mentor specializing in transforming how people think, live, and lead. Let me say that again. Transforming how people think, listen, and lead. Wow, that's powerful right there. See, she is the founder of Elevating with Tatiana. She empowers individuals to reframe their thoughts, their thought patterns, and cultivate intentional habits that unlock potential and redefine success. Tatiana's work centers on building a strong mental foundation by challenging limitations, disrupting unproductive cycles, and fostering personal accountability. Her expertise lies in guiding individuals to embrace new ways of thinking and create a life that reflects their highest values and aspirations. Now, through her speaking engagements, through her coaching, through her mentorship, Tatiana equips her clients with tools that overcome mental barriers, align with their purpose, and move toward a future defined by clarity and confidence. Her transformative approach reshapes lives and inspires others to see beyond their current circumstances into the possibilities that await them. Wow. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. All right. Just right there, you know that she's going to bring some powerful stuff tonight. So welcome, Miss Tatiana.
Thank you, Cedric. That was an introduction. You sure I'm supposed to follow that? I am more than grateful to be here with you all. This platform is an amazing opportunity. So thank you. And I look forward to this evening.
Well, awesome. Well, we're looking forward to talking with you. I know the audience is looking forward to hearing from you as well. And I know how brilliant you are, but I'm excited to let our audience see how brilliant you are. So
Thank you.
get going. We might as well just go ahead and kick the show off then, right?
Let's
So
go.
I'm going to do, Tatiana, we're going to have a conversation. I'm just going to ask you a few questions about yourself and your journey. But before we get started, people follow leaders they know, like, and trust, right? And so people want to know a little bit about you. So tell us something interesting or fun about Tatiana Woulard.
Something interesting or fun. Whenever I get this question, I really stumble because it's like, what could be so interesting and fun other than what I normally do? Something interesting about me that most of you, if you know me and you're watching this, I love K-dramas. Those are Korean dramas, and I don't speak Korean, but I watch the subtitles faithfully, and it's just a different culture. I love learning about different cultures.
Okay, well, isn't that awesome? So if you like paying attention to different cultures and different backgrounds and all that type stuff, then that means that you must have a knowledge for things that are new and different and growing yourself all the time. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. I think we should always be working to evolve, and learning new things from different cultures will keep learning interesting. And I've always had a passion for learning about different cultures.
Okay, all right. So tell us how you got to you about your journey to leadership and owning your own business. We're going to talk about your business specifically in just a little bit, but tell us a little bit, how did you get on this journey?
So my journey to leadership really began just being the oldest of 8 siblings and the eldest grandchild. That right there, those roles shape you to be a leader early on. But just always wanting to help people, having that passion for helping people, that's something that my granny instilled in her kids and her grandkids, just showing up for people. That naturally shaped me as a leader, and just different trials in life brought me here today.
Okay. So then you are the founder of Elevating with Tatiana. So tell us, what is Elevating with Tatiana?
Elevating with Tatiana is, as you said in the introduction, it's all about reshaping the mind. Just coming where I come from, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and you didn't see many business-oriented people around, coming from, as we would call it, the hood. You don't see a lot of people, successful people. You see a lot of struggle. So for a while, I thought to myself, like, that was it. And the only way out was education. But joining the military and just branching out, really networking and learning the different avenues that you can pursue to be successful brought all of that together. Like, hey, there's more to life than just what we see in our everyday life or in our communities. So that gave me the idea of Elevating with Tatiana, just wanting to help people to break free of those same limitations that I was able to break free from. But not only just breaking free from those limitations, but maintaining where you are once you are able to overcome those limitations.
Okay, all right. So that means that that's why I'm wearing this shirt today, specifically for you. Yeah, because you're built different. So tell us who your target audience is for Elevating with Tatiana.
Okay, my target audience, so I have 2 target audience. One is going to be, I'm all about women empowerment. I love empowering women. No offense to you men, I just have a thing for us women.
Oh, you're trying to put us out. Okay, I see.
It's about progressive women. I'm all about helping women to progress. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're pursuing education, entrepreneurship, or even just wanting to elevate your career. It's all about providing that sisterhood and that nurturing environment, so you can fostering environment so you can grow in the areas that you're wanting to grow. The age would differ from 18 to 45, because I don't want to not necessarily miss anyone, but everybody's at a different stage, and depending on where you are with those certain tools, we can meet you where you are to get you where you need to be. And then my second audience is going to be children, or the youth, ages 12 to 17. It takes a village to raise the children, and I think we forgot about that. So I'm definitely wanting to bring us back to that and put my hand in that, starting with the school systems, just helping them to evolve, improving the attendance rates, the academic performance, overall just emotional relationship building.
Okay, well, Excuse me. There you go. That's outstanding. So now, there are a lot of people that are in this leadership, this growth space, right?
Mhm.
What separates Elevating with Tatiana from all those other businesses that are out there?
What separates? Well, other than me,
Yeah. Well, then, all right, there we
what
go.
separates Elevating with Tatiana is the heart. Not to, and this is not knocking any business, but after a while, a lot of people you see get about this becomes about the dollar. For me, starting this business, it was never about the dollar amount. It has always been about helping people. Like, I feel what you feel. I've been told I'm an empath, and really accepting that. I'm not going to just watch you struggle. I want to walk with you. So that alone within itself, just my care and my passion behind why it is that I do what I do, but the authenticity that rolls into it, and then the overall life experiences. I can't help you get to somewhere if I've never been there or you even experienced it. So I'm taking all of that negative that I experienced and turning it into a positive, and that's pouring it into Elevating with Tatiana, because we don't necessarily know the outcome, but I know it's going to be better than where we are.
Wow. Okay. We don't know the outcomes, but I know it's better than where we are. All right. See,
Yep.
I told you were going to throw some stuff out there tonight.
Thank you.
All right. All right. I like that. I'm going to have to put that in the comments. So, what is the best part of owning your own business?
The best part about owning my own business is being able to create my own schedule. When you work a 9 to 5, or you work with a company that is not of your own, you have to abide by their rules. You have to show up when they tell you to. And while that works for everybody, that doesn't work for me. I want to be able to create an environment and schedule where I can work, but I have more time to be a mom. That is probably one of the greatest gifts. No, not probably. That is one of the greatest roles that God has blessed me with, is being a mother to my daughter. And I take that near and dear to my heart. So I wanted to create time, or to buy my time back. I wanted to buy my time back, so that way I could be more hands-on and present in her life, but also have more time to be in my community and minister.
Okay, awesome. Now, you said we don't know the outcomes, but we know what?
But we know it's better than where we are.
Yeah, but we know. I'm trying to type this in the comments. I'm like, okay, I got to get this right. We don't know the outcomes, but we know it's better.
Now, I say that is because a lot of people are so result driven. And when you focus only on the result, you're missing the process. And for a while, that was me. I was so focused on the end goal. Like, I just wanted to get it done to achieve it, that even when I got to that moment, I didn't even celebrate it. It's like, okay, what's next? But it's like, hey, you just learned so much in that process that you're probably not even going to pay attention to until it comes and slap you in the face. And I don't want it to slap me in the face. I want to learn it right then and there, so that way I can apply it, but also I can go ahead and push that information out. I'm not a gatekeeper over here. Whatever I learn, I'm eager to share it. So.
Yes, definitely. I definitely understand that. You don't want to be that person that's holding everything in. You want to be that person that's pushing it out there, right? To help others grow and expand and all that good stuff. That is awesome. So now, if you could relive one day from the past, all right, not 2 days, not 3 days, just one day from the past, what day would it be and why?
So normally, or in the past, I may have answered this with a specific day, but what I've come to learn the more I have been growing spiritually is I regret no day. While it may have been some very ugly days in my past, I regret no day. And that's simply because if I change any day, then I alter who I am today. And I don't want to change the woman that I am today or where I am, because the wisdom came with the pain. So I wouldn't change a day.
Okay, no, and so that question, that's a typical answer. That question is not about regretting the day or changing anything. It could be a day of excitement, it could be a day of joy, right? But you want to relive that moment, that experience, that excitement. What would that be? What day would that be?
The first time I received God.
Okay, all right. I thought you were about to say the first time you talked to me. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking.
Well, that was a great day too. No, it's gonna be the first time that I received God, because growing up, while I was introduced to him, or I was introduced to God as a child, I didn't understand it. And even in my young adult life, I didn't understand it. It wasn't until a few years ago where I decided, you know what, something's missing. And even in that moment, I didn't know what it was. But I just decided I wanted to go back to church. And I slowly but surely began to really understand what it was to embrace him. And it wasn't all the pressure that I was placing on myself. So that moment, to feel, to like being born again, to have that feeling, I could do that every day.
Yeah, you know, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves sometimes, right? Undue pressure,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
sometimes. So, well,
Me for sure,
that's
guilty.
yeah, that's awesome. So, you know, if one of your clients were sitting right here next to you, or if I press that magic button and that doorbell would ring, ding dong, and you know, I pop up on the screen one of your clients, and they would be sitting right here next to you, what would they say about you and your service?
Just speaking from the past, that I care. I genuinely care about my clients or whomever I'm working with. I will go to bat for you. And I think that's something that anybody that knows me could say. But also the fact that we don't do negative talk, no negative self-talk. Think above and beyond what you currently see. I definitely always encourage my clients or anybody that I'm talking to, if I hear any sense of doubt, hey, don't think like that. The power of the tongue is very much real. So we are what we think, we are what we speak.
Yes. No negative self-talk, folks. It kills dreams, right?
It does. It does. It's a very dark world when you only see the darkness. That we
Yes.
have to have a balance.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And let me tell you something, folks. When she says no negative self-talk, it doesn't mean that you don't have bad days and that things don't creep in. What she's saying is you don't just keep telling yourself that over and over and over again. You see, there's a
So,
study that showed that 80% of our thoughts are negative thoughts, right? And guess what? 93%
right.
are repetitive. Look at that. 80% of our thoughts
Yes.
are negative, but 93% of those thoughts are repetitive. So you know what that means? That's a lot of negativity that we're saying to ourselves all the time. So what we need to start doing is stop listening to ourselves and start listening. I mean, start talking to
Oh,
ourselves. You see, when you listen to yourself, that negative Nelly sitting there, sitting on your little shoulder saying, Tatiana, you can't do this. Cedric, you're going to fail at this, right? However, when you start talking to yourself, when you're about to take that shot on the court, or you're about to take a test, or you're about to go for that job interview, you're going to start pumping yourself up and telling yourself, I got this. I'm going to do this. See, it's amazing how when you listen to yourself, it's negative. But when you talk to yourself, it's in a positive. So stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself a little bit more, right?
we are
So we have
not everything we think.
absolutely, absolutely. We have a comment here from Nick Reed that says, "I love it." That's some good advice there. So, all right. So, Tatiana, I told you were going to be spot on tonight. People are going to love what you have to say. So,
Thank you,
let's keep,
Cedric.
you are welcome. Let's keep going. So, you know, with all entrepreneurs, we have good days, and we have great days, right? But
Hmm.
sometimes we have challenges. So, what was your biggest challenge during your journey to entrepreneurship?
Patience and speed. So your destiny is not always about how fast you can get there, or your destination is not about how fast you can get there. And for me, starting out as an entrepreneur, that was something that I had to learn. It was one, it's not of my time, but also to plan it out. I was wanting to just go, go, go and just like get it done, but I was not operating off a plan. So if you don't plan, you will plan, like just plan to fail in a sense. So that was definitely something that I had to plan, but also to stop listening to everything that I received. Because if you're not in the same industry of me, nothing to you, you can't. And I'm not going to say you necessarily can't teach me how to get there, but the same tools may not apply. While overall entrepreneurs, some of the basic concepts and keys are going to be general across the board. It was, if you continuously receive advice from everybody, you're never going to start, because that plan is going to defer and change so much. So just having maybe one or two that you actually seek guidance from, and then from there, it's okay to, if you hear something positive or if you hear something that could be beneficial, you jot that down. But just having some sense of direction and a plan was something that I definitely struggled with at the beginning. But once I got those implemented and I actually not just took note, but utilized them, everything began to fall into place.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome. 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 I absolutely love it. Leaders come in all different, with all different types of packages and different strengths, right? So what are some strengths that you feel are essential to be a successful leader?
Strengths that I feel are essential. One, effective communication. An effective communication is not just me and you, I'm able to hold a conversation with you, but it's the nonverbal communication. It's the active listening. It's a plethora of things that go into effective communication, because if you can't listen to me, you can't hear me. So therefore we can't, if we are having a conflict, no solution will come about, because you're right, I'm right. So where are we going to come together so that way we can have a solution? I definitely think effective communication is one, but empathy, understanding that relationships are important. So how you come off, how you are, how you interact, all of that matters. And if you take those relationships for granted, or if you take people for granted, you're not going to get very far in life, because you need people for your business to even grow. Your business is not of you, but for the people that you created it for. So that and empathy. So effective communication, empathy, and just being coachable. Like, even as a leader, we still have to be coachable and knowing when to play number two, because I'm not going to always be number one. If I'm always number one, then I'm telling myself I don't have anything else to learn. And I wake up every day now with the mindset, what can I learn new today? How can I maximize the day? I'm not trying to maximize the week, but more so maximizing the day. Those are my top three.
Oh, effective communication, empathy, and being coachable. Man, I'll tell you what, there was a Facebook post about a week or so ago, and a person posed the question that there was a high performing, it was an education group, there was a high performing teacher, but she wasn't very coachable, and she was very unapproachable in meetings. And they said, well, which one would you want, the high performer or the person that's coachable? And I said, one, I want the person that's coachable. It's great to have the high performer, okay? But if the high performer is not coachable, they're going to impact culture. And when they start impacting culture, you see, because they influence people who are following them, and they're going to impact and potentially ruin my team. So I'd rather have someone that's coachable and then get them to be a high performer versus a high performer who's not coachable. Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that, because like you just said, you can coach that one that's coachable. That means they have room to grow. They're eager. They're still wanting to learn, versus that one that's already at the top. Oh, it's very little that I feel like I have to learn, because I've mastered it, in a sense, not knowing that it's levels to mastering your skills. Like one of my old leaders from the military, you take something from everybody that you come across, whether it's good or bad, you learn something from everyone. It's about how you apply it and you move on. So I just took that. It's a lot of things that I've learned from leaders, both good and bad, and like especially the ones that I didn't necessarily get along with. Those are the lessons that I keep with me the most, because it's at the forefront. It's a reminder. Hey, you were treated like this, or you experienced this. Do you want to give this off? It definitely helps you keep yourself in check, and to also check your heart posture.
Oh, check your heart posture. Oh, man. I like that. Look at you.
Thank
dropping.
You.
Okay. All right. Check your heart posture.
Just sprinkle them here and there.
Okay. All right. I like that. So now, I didn't send you this question, so I'm gonna throw you some wild card questions. You see,
I'm ready.
I knew you'd be ready. They're easy though. So, what's your favorite dessert?
Plant-based cookies. My little brother.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Plant-based and cookies don't go the same.
Yes. Yes, it does. Listen, you wouldn't think the cookie was plant-based when you're eating it. My little brother, he became a holistic wellness coach during COVID. So of course, when he like he's eager, he's like me. When he learns something new, he wants to share it with he shares it with his family first. He's always going to make sure that his siblings know exactly what we need to know. So when he started that journey, I slowly but surely started after him. And he introduced me to these plant-based cookies from Kroger's. If y'all want to know where they're from Kroger's, and they're amazing. Yeah, just love them.
Okay, well, last night I had a homemade chocolate chip and pecan cookie. It was not plant-based.
I mean, it's better than store-bought. You know what's in there.
Yes, well, you know what? The pecans were grown at home, so maybe that's a plant, right?
I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
So what's your favorite free time activity? Like when you just like let your hair down, you just like, it's just you and your four walls.
Learning Swahili on Duolingo. When I have
Learning
downtime.
Swahili.
Yes, I am learning Swahili on Duolingo. And it's exciting.
Okay. Look at that.
I shifted. Most people will be like, oh, I have been told for years, oh, you need downtime. You need downtime. It's like, no, I don't need downtime. You rest at the end, not in the middle. So even at 30, it's like, oh, you're still young. Hey, wow, God didn't create time. I know I'm still on a ticking time, and any day could be. There's no guarantee when my day is going to come. So for me, I want to leave here fulfilled. And while, yes, it's easy to just sit and watch TV, I don't want to give time to things that's not plentiful. It's not helping me to be fruitful in this world. I'm creating something, I'm creating an income for them. So I definitely try to utilize my time, minimize it with wasting it, but also just filling that with something that'll help engage my learning or just to elevate me. Networking is fun for me.
Okay, all right. Well, if you like it, I love it. So then, audience.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask the audience to put in there what's their free time activity. What do you do when it's just you and your four walls and you have some free time to just do whatever you want? What do you do to just like chill out and relax? All right. So I watch TV myself, and I'll stay up like tonight. I'll probably be up late tonight, and I'll be on Netflix, or I watch some crazy shows, but I watch, antique archaeology. These guys are pickers, and they go around the country picking. And I watched the show. It's about this pawn shop in Las Vegas called Pawn Stars, and people come in and pawn all kind of items, and I can just watch it for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
My sister.
Okay, all right. So audience, you put in the comments, what do you like to do? All right. So I see Amy said she reads. All right.
See, Amy, I'm with you.
Okay. All right. And Denise says she reads as well.
See, me and Denise, we can chat too, because Denise likes
to
read.
All right. We have all these readers out there. So go on over to LaFleur Leadership Books and buy you a couple of books then. I'm glad you said it. I've written 4 books. I have one that's actually I'm going to announce tomorrow, Wednesday, that it's ready to be ready on Amazon to come out there. It's called Take Off the Mask. You Are Enough, and have 2 more books coming out here in April. So there you go. Let me see one more comment, then we'll get back to questions. Yvette says she loves to do puzzles. Yes, puzzles are fun. I like doing that as well. And Kimberly says she likes to write in her journal. Oh, Kimberly, we're gonna have to have you on the show so we can see what's in that journal.
Kimberly, she's not gonna share. She gonna hold it. None of your business.
Yeah.
Look at recipes.
All right. Okay. Yes, Robin says she likes to look at recipes.
See, I could be in the kitchen with Robin.
Okay, all right. I love to cook, so send the recipe and I'll cook it, and I'll film myself cooking it.
Look, you could cook, I'll be the baker.
Okay, there you go. Carissa says she likes coloring. Marsha says she loves watching TV as well. What are you watching on that TV, Marsha? So tell us. See, I'm trying to get the tea.
Trust me, Marsha not watching none with no tea.
Oh, look,
She's
okay, all
anything
right.
with no tea.
Okay, all right. She's watching, let's see,
General
underwater
Hospital.
basketball. Oh, General Hospital. Oh, Lord.
All
right. And Carissa says she also likes to paint. That's awesome. Well, you know, one of the things that she looked at, Marsha said, General Hospital. Awesome. So now, if you could choose one long-term goal, either to own a house or to travel, which one would it be?
That's easy. Travel the world. Traveling the world opens you up to so much life experience that you can't even begin to see just owning a house. Like, I'm a homeowner now, and it's a blessing, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I would trade that in to travel the world. You learn so many different things, you learn from so many different people, you meet so many different people, but all of those life experiences could turn into something to help someone else.
Okay. Well, awesome. So we're halfway through the show, and if you're just joining us, I want you to know that you're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedric. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am 𝗟𝗲𝗱𝗿𝗀𝗍, your host. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. I'm glad you tuned in, and we are talking to Miss Tatiana Woulard with Elevating with Tatiana. And go ahead.
I was just saying, yes, agreeing with you, welcoming them, embracing them.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So Tatiana, a lot of times entrepreneurs give up. They throw in the towel. They decide because they have a little bit of a setback, or someone told them no, or they failed at something, or maybe the project didn't go as good as they wanted to go, or it's taking longer to generate revenue than they thought it was going to take. They decide to just give up and throw it all in and say, I'm going to go back and do something else. Now, what advice would you give to that person who's questioning whether they should give up or not?
Oh, one would say no. Like, we don't give up over here. That's not even a thing. It's easy to give up. And well, actually, no, it's hard to give up because you're quitting and you have to live with that every day, versus it's easier to just suck it up and keep going. But someone that is ready to just throw in the towel, I would definitely tell them, ask yourself why. What is keeping you? Because hard work does not happen overnight. Nothing grows overnight. Think about a tree. The strongest oak trees or the strongest trees in the world, they didn't grow overnight. They started out being planted as roots and they slowly grew. The race of life is not a sprint, but it is a long distance race, which is why we got to take our time. So if you are someone who is wanting to give up, I'm going to encourage you not to. I'm going to encourage you to find it in your heart, because if you wanted to, you wouldn't talk about it. So just find it in your heart to keep going, because your victory is right there. It's literally 100 meters away, if that. And just remember why you did it. You didn't start to give up. So why would you give up? Because it's not going your way. It may not be the route you need to take, but that doesn't mean change the destination.
Oh, I like that. So
I used to tell my clients all the time.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I used to tell my clients all the time back when I was, I worked as a government contractor, TAP counselor, and I would tell my clients all the time, be true to yourself. If that's your dream, if that's your vision, I don't care what anybody else tells you, you fight for that tooth and nail. Now, so what if it doesn't happen the first time? Failure is actually a significant part of the journey, because you don't know if you're good at something until you try it and fail. Okay, failure just means, well, I can't do it this way, let me try it this way. That's all failure is showing you or pushing you to the way that keeps you going, that is for you, the route that is you're meant to take. So that's really all it is. You just keep going until you try. So if this path doesn't work, okay, let me try this path. But exhaust all options before you walk away from it, because we didn't just get great at something overnight. Our skills need to be mastered in order for us to be extraordinary.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And the what you're just talking about in my book, Million Dollar Beach House: My Journey to an Extraordinary Life. That's exactly what I talk about. It's easy. You say it's easy, but it's hard at the same time. It's easy to just say I'm going to quit, right? And then you got to. The hard part is you mentally come to that conclusion that you're going to quit, right? And so when you're in that space, you can say, man, this is not working for me. And that time I was 29 and I was broke. I was thinking, man, life is harder than I thought it was going to be. Why am I a failure at finances? And I see other people who are successful at it. There has to be a better way, right? And then I came to that conclusion of what you just said. I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up on my dream and my goal. I still want to go to a whole nother level. I still want to do those extraordinary things. And boom, then I did it. That's what I write about in that book. So go check it out if you haven't. Amy says,
I do have something to add to that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're welcome, Amy. I'm so glad and thankful that you chimed in with us this evening. But just like you just said, the mindset that goes back to even when I started the business. You have to have the right mindset to do anything in life, because it doesn't matter the skill set that I give you, the tools, whatever information that you have received, you're not going to apply it if you don't have the right mindset. And the mindset you need to have as an entrepreneur is that no matter what, you are going to make it happen. Like that is the mindset that you need to have, a mindset of a successor, of a champion. None of the greats had it easy. Literally nobody that has made an impression on your life today had a cakewalk when they made it to where they were supposed to make it to. So really it's about adapting the mindset to never give up.
Yes, I'm going to put what you just said in the comments here. None of the greats had it easy. And they didn't quit.
And like I shared with you earlier today about just the validation. I feel like a lot of people tend to give up because they're seeking the validation, or nobody's liking my post, nobody's buying my product, you're just probably not marketing to the right people. But dive it back to, you're seeking validation from someone who was never meant to validate you. Your validation was already within you. You have to believe that you were brought here to be something specific, to create something, to solve a problem. Whatever you feel like your purpose is, you have to believe that, because you can have purpose and you can pursue it, but if you don't have the heart and the mindset, I'm not going to believe what you're selling. I'm not going to want to buy what you're selling, because you don't have confidence in it. And I was once there, very timid, not being able to close when I did work in, not even operating in the insurance industry. I was not a successor when it came to closing, because I cared more about the wrong things than of what I needed to focus on. I didn't have that victory mindset because of many different things. But adapting that mindset and shifting, it's like, okay, we're going to try a different route. That wasn't it. But I had the heart to never give up. I just had to find my footing.
There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, this is another question I'm throwing at you. I didn't tell you about it intentionally, right? As I didn't want you to over prepare. I just want you to come on and be your natural self. I told you earlier today, just be you, right? So, you and I, talked over the last couple of years and talk about your journey and your willingness to go take your business to the next level. So tell me and tell the audience, what is it like if I'm your mentor?
What is it like as you my mentor?
Yeah. Helping you walk through this journey.
A blessing, because it was never with you. It's never forceful. It's never, you don't write people off. You meet them where they are. You heard my cries. You heard the hunger. You heard the woman in me wanting to come out, but you also saw that, hey, she still has some layers to peel. And it wasn't like you didn't tear me down. You just slowly but surely, you planted your seeds, you dropped your nuggets. And once I showed up, it was like, okay, let's go. You were right there as soon as I opened the door. So for me, it's a blessing, because not everybody has a mentor that they have access to as freely or as easy as I have access to you, which makes it very difficult for them when they are seeking guidance. And just speaking of before you just navigating in that entrepreneurship area, I didn't have guidance. So it was like, I wanted to make moves, I wanted to turn, and I wasn't sure if it was the right move or turn to make. But then I was introduced to you, and it's like, okay, hey, you're going to hold me accountable, but you're also going to not keep me, but meet me where I am to help me progress. So having you as a mentor has been a blessing. Having anybody that I've come in contact with momentarily, whether it's been a short term, long term, I learned from all of my, no offense, all of my elders, because y'all are wise. I want to receive your wisdom so that way I can continue to bless my generation and those to come after me.
Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, you know, this is the point in the show where we do a segment called Would You Rather? All right. So we're going to play a little Would You Rather? All right.
You and your surprises.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. So Dr. 𝗧𝗹𝗱𝗶𝗶𝗿 says, yes, he meets you right where you are. And she's been a part of Would You Rather before, so she loves it. And audience, just so you know, next Monday night, I will be in Virginia Beach, Virginia, getting working with the university there, getting ready for a conference. So I won't be able to host the show, but Dr. 𝗧𝗹𝗱𝗶𝗿 is going to be the host, a co-host. Her and 𝗖𝗲𝗱𝗱𝗿 are going to be hosting the show next Monday. So I'm looking forward to seeing the recording of that. And so make sure you guys still tune in next Monday. So let's dive into some of this Would You Rather. All right. It's very easy. And audience, okay. I want you to also answer these Would You Rather. So put yours in the comments and we'll pop them up on the screen. So would you rather have a sports stadium named after you or a university named after you?
University.
University. Okay. All right. Awesome. And would you rather have free Apple products forever or have free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Free Wi-Fi wherever I go.
Free Wi-Fi. All right. And all right. And audit. All right. So Yvette says university as well. So would you rather fulfill well, you said you don't have regrets, so I'm not even going to go that one, but this one I like. Would you rather have your own private island or your own private jet?
My own private jet.
My own private jet. Oh, that's right. Because you said you want to travel, right? So you can travel everywhere. Okay.
Airports can be a hassle.
They can be. So if you're going to have your own jet, would you rather have free gas for 25 years or have your dream car?
Free gas.
Free gas to put in that jet?
Free gas. Free gas. Car, what? Free gas.
Okay. All right. So now here's a really one. I really like this one.
I'm not surprised Kim said private island.
Okay. Would you rather be able to read minds or be able to travel at light speed?
Honestly, I would rather travel at light speed because I do not want to know every thought that you have. And that might be scary. I don't want to know every thought everyone has. I've seen shows where people see it and it's like you find yourself, I'm right next to you and I'm reading your thoughts, but you're not talking. I'm going to sound crazy. No, thank you.
Yeah, I want to know.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to know what to do with that. It's just going to be overwhelmed. No, okay.
Okay, all right. So, all right. So let's see. 𝗧𝗹𝗱𝗍𝗍 said agreed, rather not know. See? No, I want to know. Oh, that's what you're thinking, huh? Those private thoughts.
That just goes with pre-forgiveness. You know, forgiveness is a big thing. You have to prepare. Okay, God, this morning, just let me go ahead and pre-forgive every thought that I hear right now. Okay.
Yeah, I'll walk up to you and say, I forgive you. I'm going to forgive you already, Tatiana, for those thoughts.
And I'm going to look at you like, what are you talking?
So, would you rather be a ninja or be a pirate?
Ninja.
A ninja. Okay, I have two more. Would you rather, and audience, I want you guys to answer this one too. Would you rather meet your great grandparents or your great grandchildren?
So I've met my great grandparents before, so I would prefer to meet my great grandchildren.
Okay, great grandchildren. All right, audience, I want to hear what you have to say about that. Great grandparents or great grandchildren? And I have met my great grandmother. When I was growing up, I used to love going over to her house. Okay.
My great grandmother always had candy in her living room. You could be in her living room, but not really. But she always had that butterscotch, the bowl of butterscotch, the peppermint, and I wasn't fond of peppermints. She kept them in her purse. My granny did too, but it was the butterscotch for me.
Okay. All right.
It's the butterscotch.
All right. I definitely understand that. All right. So now the last one, and then we'll get back to some real questions. Okay. Last one here. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
$100,000 in real money. That's simple. Okay. I would be able to invest that. I could do more and give me that $1 million versus just using Amazon.
Okay, so
I love Amazon, but not for $1 million.
I'm going to that Amazon, those Amazon gift cards, and see Yvette agrees with me. Hey, Amazon.
She would agree. Yeah, she loves her some Amazon, so I'm not surprised that she would agree.
Yes, you know? And 𝗧𝗹𝗱𝗏𝗍
I am surprised that 𝗧𝗹𝗱𝗏𝗏 said Amazon gift cards right now.
Denise says
thank you, money.
Denise. But you see, this is what I would do. I would get the Amazon gift cards, and then I would go and give some of the gift cards out to people, like, you know, homeless people, people that need something, right? And then I would take those gift cards, and you know, you can get everything on Amazon, right?
Just about, yes.
Yes. So you can buy a car on Amazon now. Hyundai is selling their cars on Amazon.
I'm not surprised.
You can buy a house on Amazon. You got pharmacy on Amazon. So what I would do is buy a house on Amazon and flip the house.
So, you know, I would take the 100,000 and I would just allocate it to different things, because creating multiple sources of income with one source is smarter than, well, I'm not going to say smarter because then that would be rude, but it would give me more room to be more fruitful. Let me say that. Amazon it kind of limits me with my being fruitful, but the 100,000 gives me more room to be fruitful.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that house for 200,000 on Amazon, and I'm gonna sell it for 400.
Well, that's smart too. That would be smart too.
Yeah, you can't go wrong either way, but I always like this. So thank you for playing our segment of Would You Rather. You see, I couldn't tell you about this because you can't prepare for it. So why do you think it's important for leaders to continue to grow, or entrepreneurs to continue to grow, or people in general to continue to grow?
Because the world around us is constantly evolving. If you don't take the steps to evolve with it, you're going to be stagnant and stuck. You're not going to be able to keep up with today's time. And you can't be impactful or influential if you don't know what's going on. So that's just right there alone is very important to evolve. The same way our cars and the products we use, they advance because of the components that go within them. Our education also needs to continue to advance, because applied knowledge is you lose that knowledge. You know, what I learned in the 5th grade, I'm not applying it anymore. So I probably wouldn't remember. A 5th grader would probably be smarter than me right now. So it's just all about what it is that you're retaining. You should want to retain what it is and then continue to build on that. Yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Well, so what's the last thing that you had that excited you so much that you couldn't sleep? What's the last thing that I had that excited me so much that I couldn't sleep, other than my business, 𝗟𝗲𝗱𝗶𝗵, Tatiana, that just launched?
Yes. Yes.
I will be releasing a book soon, 𝗟𝗲𝗱𝗵𝗶𝗃 Whispers. It's either you or me. That has had me up at night. I'm very excited to release that. It's about mental warfare, just giving you some nuggets on, well, one, sharing what it is that I do or I have experienced when it comes to mental warfare and how I've been able to overcome it, and just habits or techniques and tools to build healthier habits when encountering mental warfare.
Okay, awesome. And give us the name of the book again.
The book is called 𝗟𝗲𝗱𝗵𝗃 Whispers. It's either you or me. It will be releasing February 1st. I'm very excited. 2025, by the way. Yes.
Okay.
I have to make sure, because they're like, well, you didn't say what year. Just, you guys, this year.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to getting that book out. So what are one or two things that that you say that you've learned about yourself from being a business owner?
The things that I learned about myself from being a business owner is, well, one is the power of presence. Your presence is everything, and people feel that. Or when you're internally whole, externally, that confidence exudes off you. People feel that when you walk. They feel your presence when you walk to the room, when you speak. So that is something that I had to learn about myself, but not learn it, own it. Because we know a lot of us are aware of the skills that we possess, but we don't own them. So therefore, our gifts can't make room for us if you're not even owning it, if you're denying it, not ready to step into it. So once I stepped into that and actually took ownership of it, I realized that, hey, you are capable of a lot more than you give yourself credit for. So that's a big takeaway, but just also the creativity. When you really silence the noise in your head and you make a decision to commit to yourself because you are your greatest asset, I hope everything else is unlimited. Like, I listen and I take advice from those that I seek advice from, but when it comes down to where I'm headed in life, there's nothing absolutely anybody can tell me, because God already confirmed it. I now see what I need to see. So I'm investing everything that I need to invest in me. And that feeling alone is fulfilling, because the same way you invest into that 9 and 5 or playing a game or whatever whatever it is that your vice, there we go, whatever your vice is or whatever it is that you give your attention to, if you flip that and turn it into yourself, you will be amazed at where you are in the next week, let alone the next 30 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So, Tatiana, you've been successful in your business and in life in general and things that you're doing.
Yeah.
But we've all, failed at something at one time or another, right? So tell us about one of your failures and the lessons that you learned from it.
One of my failures and the lessons that I learned from it. Well, this is one of the questions that I should have been a part of that pre-question list, so I could have had time to prepare for it. Because
no, it's on there.
I don't know. Well, not knowing when to be quiet. Let me say that one. The same way I know I had a gift of speaking, I thought I had to always defend myself or defend something or speak up or say something. But I had to learn the hard way in moments to be quiet, because I missed opportunities not being quiet, or there was times where I made a situation more than what it needed to be. So really learning when to be quiet and be still, especially when yourself, when your gut and your intuition is telling you to just be quiet. It helps you to see the bigger picture. Speaking before you need to, you minimize what it is that you need to see, or you limit your vision.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So how can our listeners learn more about you or stay connected with you?
Learning more about me and staying connected with me, I encourage you all to go and visit my website. I know the screen says elevating with an E, but elevating is actually with a 3. So my website is going to be Elevating with Tatiana, but that is Elevating with a 3. Cedric is going to put it in the chat for you all. You are more than welcome to go there, look around. You're able to see more of the services and programs that I have to offer and just learn more about me in general. But you'll also be able to contact me via email and or by phone. But also social medias are there on LinkedIn. I am Tatiana Woulard. On Facebook, same ordeal. And then on Instagram and TikTok, it's Coaching You. It's Coaching You to Purpose with Coach T. Or you can look up Tatiana Woulard and I'll be there. I drop videos here and there. I do have some great things in alignment this upcoming year within the next few months. Everyone on here and out there, prepare to see more of Tatiana, especially Elevating with Tatiana.
Yes, and when she drops some videos, she always drops some nice high energy. You get pumped up, you get excited when you hear her videos. So definitely check those out. And check her out at Elevating with Tatiana. So we know that the journey to becoming an entrepreneur is never easy. What are 2 or 3 pieces of advice would you share with someone considering becoming an entrepreneur?
Anyone considering becoming an entrepreneur, 1, identify the problem you want to solve. Because don't just jump into whatever industry you think is booming just because you think that's where you're going to make the fastest buck. Don't make it about the dollar amount. Make it about why you're doing it. So definitely identify your why and then what it is that you're wanting to do. Develop that business plan, but also develop the mindset. Because without those 3, you're really just doing something just to do something.
There you go.
And I know the mindset, I'm just going to add to with the mindset, yes, it's going to always be evolving, but you have to start with the mindset, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Because the first no should not shift you. And sometimes that first, second, or third no you hit, you're ready to just leave. Leaving should not be the option. You're going to get 50 million no's probably before you get that first yes. And that's something I learned as a insurance agent. You're going to get told no, and you cannot take that personal. And peace be with you, and you keep it going. But that experience alone definitely prepared me for the no's. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. Your loss, not mine. But yeah, just having the heart to be told no.
Yes, and that those no's can be hard for people to accept, right? And one of the things I tell people, and I'm okay if you tell me no, okay? I embrace it. And I think that what it does, it motivates me then or inspires me to then give you some more information, right? Yeah. That's the power of no. Don't just quit there. That just means you didn't give them the information that they need in the way that they need it. So when you give people information that they need based on the way they need it and why they need it and how they need it, that no turns into yes. And when that no turns into a yes, you found a loyal customer forever, right? So just remember that, all right? So now, Tatiana, this is the last question I have for you.
Okay.
And I always like this question. And audience, if you have a question, go ahead and put it into the chat. But if there were a book written about you, what would the title be? And what would it say in the back of the book about you?
I saw this question. And I never came up with a name, but I actually do. I'll drop a little nugget for you all. I do actually have a book in the works about me, but it's not going to be a memoir. It's called 𝗖𝗲𝗱𝗿𝗀. I'm not going to drop the subtitle, but 𝗖𝗲𝗱𝗿𝗀, and 𝗖𝗲𝗱𝗿𝗀 is about just at every phase. I can only contest as being a woman, and every phase of life, where the phases that I've experienced becoming who I am today, there's a different version of myself. And at one point, I remember looking back and not being able to not having peace at the pictures or the memories that came to play. But I had to learn to love every version because she knew better. She didn't know any better, and she did the best she could. So just loving every version of yourself up until who you are today is going to help you to continue to become who you are meant to be. And that's what that book just talks about. It gets vulnerable, it gets deep, it shares my experiences. Some would say, you know, are foolish mistakes. Let me say that some people might want to hide. I don't want to hide those moments because somebody's going to learn from them. And on the back of that book, it's the vulnerability of it. It's going to tell you, hey, this is who I am, but this is, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not an expert when it comes to certain things. I am an expert at life. Let me say that. Let me correct that. I'm an expert at perseverance, at resilience, because I've seen some of the ugliness in this world. I've experienced my own to the brink of, hey, not wanting to be here. And I saw my light, I held on to it, and I kept going, and I'm here today. So every book or everything that I do, everything I put my hand into is going to have the heart. You're going to feel that compassion. So whether it's on the back of The Enemy's Whisper, She Loved Us All, whatever I put out there, you're going to know, hey, this is from the heart. This is not just a fluke or a quick fix, but this is something that I can take with me. This is something that I can turn to, or this is someone that I can go to, listen to when I feel like I need to be picked up, like Priscilla Shirer. Anytime I listen to her, it's like, okay, what were you tripping about? What were you studying about? Because you feel her conviction in every word. I love her. But yeah.
Wow, that was awesome. And I love the title there. That's going to be powerful. So we're going to have to talk about that one because you know how I am, right?
Yeah.
You
very excited.
Hey, yes. And like, hey, we need to get working on this and get this out right away.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to, I'm writing a note here. We're going to talk about that one. Okay. So folks, you have been listening to Ms. Tatiana Woulard with Elevating with Tatiana. And I hope you had a great time tonight hearing from her, her message, her journey, and some nuggets that she dropped along the way. And I know that I've enjoyed this interview session, and I want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in tonight and listening to us talk. And you know, give Miss Tatiana some love and let her know that you appreciate what you heard from her tonight. And the last thing that I'll say before we end the show is, well, two things. One, every Monday night at 6:30 Central Time, we're right here on the same channel with Talk Leadership with Cedric. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I'm excited that you were here tonight with us. And you know, the last thing I always show at the end of the show, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. Thank you guys, and hopefully
bye,
you
everyone.
will have a great evening. Bye-bye.